to what I'm going to say. I have all these index cards, but 10 of them were about whether it's pronounced Edison or Edison, and Robert kind of blew that one. But thank you, Robert, for the gracious introduction. I really appreciate it. You're a tremendous friend, and you should be standing here. Some of you may be wondering about my little cart here. I have what they call a surgery-resistant foot injury. So every time I go in to get surgery to fix it, the doctors tell me that I'll be running down the streets in 4 weeks. And 4 weeks later, they start scheduling the next surgery. So it's been a fun year, but I believe that we're through with surgeries, that in 4 weeks, this one's actually gonna work because it looks a lot better than the other ones did. So, if you were wondering about that. If you weren't, hey, you got some medical news along with your pension news. You know, when you start to put together one of these talks, you think about all the people that helped you, all the people you should thank. You know, who helped you with the knowledge, the skills, and the dedication it takes to even be considered for an Edison Award. See, this is where I throw in all the Edison stuff. But anyway, we're gonna leave that. But every time you think of one person that was really valuable to you, there are 5 or 10 others that come to mind. And at the end of the day, you wind up with 150 people you have to thank in 9 minutes. And that really doesn't work so well. So, I am limiting the thank yous in my talk today to the minimum. There's going to be 3 thank yous in my talk. What I said to Robert earlier was not a thank you.
Okay.
I want to thank my parents. My mother, God rest her soul, she was an English teacher and mother of 7 in New York City. She actually taught at J-Lo's high school. She taught 2 of J-Lo's sisters. She didn't actually teach J-Lo, so she doesn't get to, be a celebrity or anything. My father was a math professor, or is a math professor. He's 86. He's alive and kicking. I guess he's not teaching math anymore, except to his grandchildren. But having 2 educators as parents really made a big difference for me, and for some at least of my brothers and sisters. We learned a great respect for education and for educators. It's been an honor to teach some of the ASPA classes I've been asked to teach over the years. You're never happier than when you teach a class to a group of students that are truly engaged. Now, I taught in a public high school for a year. There's none of that there. So thanks, Mom and Dad. And Dad, I'll call you to let you know how this went. I want to thank Renee C. Finnegan, CPC, my wife and the love of my life. Robert introduced us. There's a picture of that introduction. I want to thank Tommy and Samantha. This is all part of one introduction, family. Or one thank you for family. But, for the 30 or so years that I've been doing stuff for ASPA, I've been traveling all over the country to meetings. You know how it's hard? Actuaries have to get 36 hours of continuing ed credit over a 3-year period. In normal years, when I have a foot, I generally get 200 hours of continuing ed credit in the first year. So it's a lot of travel, it's a lot of meetings, it's a lot of conferences, and it's being away from home, and it's missing important things. And they've been, my whole family, my Renee and my children, Samantha and Tommy, have been so patient and so supportive over that time that I really need to thank you guys. So thank you, Renee, back there wherever you are. Is there a past winners slide we can throw up? Look at the names on that list. Who wouldn't be honored to just be considered for that list? It's really humbling. You have the 3 S's, you know, Sal, Sheldon, and Sarah. There's no need for last names. They're like Madonna. You have Judy Miller and Craig Hoffman, Rich Hockman. You know, I learned so much from so many of the people on that list that it's just incredibly humbling. And inside, my brain is saying, look, Tom, of course you don't deserve the award. So just be gracious and get the hell off the stage without looking like an idiot. So, I want to call your attention to the 2009 winner, Sam Savitz. Sam was an ASPA founder and its 3rd president. Well, it's hard to say whether he's the second, third, or 4th president, because Harry Edison had 2 terms at the first, at the opening of ASPA, and so we don't really know how to count. Is the person that followed Harry the 2nd or the 3rd? So it's tough to count back there, but we're gonna go with 3rd because that's what's on Sam's, used to be on Sam's mailbox. He's also the member who's had the greatest impact on my career. My close friend, Chuck Close, pun intended, introduced me to Sam in the mid-90s. And soon after that, Sam sold his business to me and Bill Bishop for a few shekels and a load of promises and not just a few lies. But he didn't just sell it to us and go away. He mentored us for years. He encouraged us to change the business that he had built over 25 years. He said, you know, you guys have inroads into bigger plans, bigger clients, and bigger clients have bigger wallets. And based on his advice and our dedication, we were able to grow the business tenfold in 15 years. We were twice named fastest growing companies in Philadelphia, and we were the oldest companies by 20 years. So Sam was a remarkable help with that. And he taught us, the first thing he taught us was that client relationships do not involve data questions. And it seems that, you know, there are a lot of practitioners who only talk to their clients when they need additional information about Joey Bananas, who doesn't have a date of birth. So, he not only gave us the business for a song, but he mentored us to be successful. And that was 27 years ago. Sam passed 2 years ago. And in the 25 years in the interim, He was a force of nature. He was on the boards of about every one of Philly's biggest cultural organizations. Philadelphia Orchestra, the Kimmel Center, etc. But he still made time for us. He would tell us all the time, anything I can do, anyone I can talk to, I'm there for you. So, thank you, Sam. You lived an amazing life. So I've been a member here since 1986 or 1987, and I've seen a lot of changes in ASPA in the industry. I was part of some of them in my work with ASPA. When I started in the industry, the TPA industry was somewhat aggressive. And maybe some people took liberty with the code or the regulations. ASPA, especially since 1995, when Brian joined us, has been the greatest force in bringing the TPA industry to best practices. How do you do that? Well, ASPA introduced QPA and QKA designations in that order, and they were huge changes in the industry. They expanded the number of people with designations. There was rigorous testing, which yielded respect for the designations. Designees were proud of their designations, and were willing to take on the rigorous CE that went with that. And that changed the industry so that the games that were played 30 years ago or 40 years ago just don't exist anymore. Everyone is proud of the work that they do. Everyone wants to do things right. And I'm amazed that I got to be a part of that. But we should also thank the man that was at the helm of all of this as we went through. But I'm out of thank yous. I only got 3. So I'm going to ask all of you to join me in thanking Brian Graff. You know, over the past 36 years, I've become a part of ASPA's ever-growing influence on the Hill and with regulators. If you ever need the ultimate pension nerd rush, it comes the first time you see a new code or reg section that contains words that you actually wrote. When you feel that, it makes you the ultimate pension geek. So, those of you who haven't volunteered for government affairs, it's really cool. Just a few more things. I want to congratulate my colleague, Justin Bonestra. First, I'd like all of you to call him Bones from now on. I'm trying to make that a thing. So, he's become ASPA president, and I've worked with him for the last 6 years. And he's a tremendously talented individual, and ASPA will be lucky to have him at the helm next year. I want to mention Lynn Young. Lynn Young was awarded both the Burroughs Award and the Educator of the Year Award. And no one deserves them more than Lynn. Lynn gets things done, both in strategic board memberships and through the ASEA presidency and chair of every committee ASPA or ACOPA have ever had. Lynn gets things done. we're so lucky to have her, so congratulations, Liv. So like I said, I've seen a lot of changes over my 35 years, and I've taught a lot of sessions at an awful lot of conferences like this one to a lot of you. So thank you for this recognition. But by the way, if this is just a ploy to get me to retire, you're out of luck. If the committee will have me, I'm coming back for years. And before I go, I want to thank ASPA staff. I want to thank Erin and Troy and Elizabeth for all they do. You have no idea how hard they work to put something on like this. And just to get all the committees they work with, keeping them on the straight and narrow. So thank you guys. You've been a real help in my career. And that's it.